despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead of opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. Oh, wow, that's shitty. The rhythmic clashing of the chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they are right there in the textbook. Yeah, that's really freaking bored, dude. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do. Just like yesterday. So I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. I noticed Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune's sounding so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Maybe there's pent-up anger in there. Misha's trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished, and the girls sit down on their seats again. Ugh, I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I'll use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit without getting roped into the student council thing again, though I suspect that door is now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after class, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. Probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me at first. Scoff. As if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me. In the end, she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously. Well, of course, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all of our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws. I think that was encumbrances. No, nothing that might make the festival short of perfect. Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh, hello? Hey. I look over to my shoulder to see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again. Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Oh, backing away. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, I haven't seen Satao. She came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasy at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course Shizune isn't going to look away, but she is intimidating enough as it is. I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. But it's a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is? Why is she so scowling? God. If she has any sense in her head, she'll be in her classroom working on their festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at? Oh my god, they don't like her at all. You need to find her? She was looking for you in the morning, but I guess you have missed each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question. Yeah, I can come with you, if it's okay. Hanako nods fractally, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I get the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly, one thing that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I kind of understand why she always seems to be so wary, or maybe more like why there could be a person like her. but I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Are you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get in the cafeteria. Well, there's something of a dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad as because dinner time is longer than lunch hour, but I can understand why Hanako could be discouraged from going in. Because she didn't like people. She didn't like people. I don't like them. I picked up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. Ew. It doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together, something I can't say I've really done before with a girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same thing though, even though we are walking at the same pace. She never comes within arm's reach of me. Oh my god. It's so awkward. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable around me. Given how shy she is, there doesn't seem to be much helping it, at least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there's not much of a crowd there, but Lily is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head sinks even lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere else already? Just the library. I was reading. So she does spend the classes she skips at the library. Ah, so not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'd be in her own class like Shizune said, right? Right. With the slightest of nods, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. God, she's being so awkward. It's like I need double-layered silk gloves with padding to even begin interlacing with her. Some small talk might help her become a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both of our minds. So you and Lily usually hang out together after class, right? Yes. I'm not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I asked the question. That much was rather obvious after all. Yeah, you big idiot. God. She didn't seem like the type to cultivate a social circle either, so I suspect that Lily may well be her only friend. Must be a pain being in different classes, I'm guessing. She gives a sharp, almost reflexive nod. Compared to Lily's careful thought about her actions and speech, Hanako hastens to make her answers as prompt and short as possible. Lily comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy. She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. It's pretty cute, really. There isn't any need to say more, both of us content that the discussion's reached an end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, well, she's still, awkward as fuck around you, though. Hisao, goddammit. We are met by a group of students heading downstairs like a school of fish, moving from one feeding area to another. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves, but before I can notice her doing so, Hanako has moved around behind me. Hey, are you alright? Just keep going. The students pass us without as much as a second glance, and Hanako takes up position to my side again as we enter the building, her momentary reprieve from her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've ever known a shy person before, or even shy girls, but Hanako seems to be pretty far beyond what I call normal in her fear of other people. Yeah, she's like a scared rabbit, Jesus Christ. If it weren't for Lily acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would have been able to walk beside me like this. She seems to completely shut down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lily's classroom continues in strained silence, while I rue her inability to socialize at all. Ew. After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, I guess we found her. This wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first and come to me for backup, I wonder? Maybe. Well, if that's true, at least she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reach the door to class 3-2. With Hanako less than subtly positioning herself behind me, I open the door. Inside is a hive of activity, seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they work hurriedly on their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, and banners being made, must be for the upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lily. There. Finding her among the din is surprisingly easy, not the least because of her looks. With a couple of students gathered around her as she stands at the front of the class, she seems to be in charge of the preparations, or at least busy organizing them, carefully negotiating a path through the various students hunched over the floor for lack of desk space. I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lily. Hi, Lily. She pricks her head up as she breaks off talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be her classmate, trying to listen as best she can. Sorry, who? Sorry, Hisao. I have Hanako, too.